Hello everyone, my name is Pawan Kumar. In this lecture, we will discuss about vacuum circuit breakers. Right. So in previous classes, we have discussed about what are the types of circuit breakers. In those types, we have seen air brake circuit breaker, air blast circuit breaker, oil circuit breaker, as well as SF6 circuit breaker. So the air and oil and SF6, these are the mediums which are used for arc quenching mediums. In previous cases, we have discussed in these details in previous classes. Right. In this class, I am giving a lecture about vacuum circuit breaker. Right. So at the end of this session, you will get the basic idea about vacuum circuit breakers and the operation of vacuum circuit breakers. So these are the lecture contents that I am going to deliver today. It deals with introduction of vacuum circuit breaker and construction and operation of vacuum circuit breaker, advantages and disadvantages of vacuum circuit breaker, and at the end of this session we will compare all circuit breakers which are discussed till now, that is air brake circuit breaker, air blast circuit breaker, oil circuit breaker and SF6 circuit breaker, vacuum circuit breakers. So I will discuss this comparison at the end of this session. Right. So vacuum circuit breaker. What is vacuum circuit breaker? In previous classes we have seen air brake and oil circuit breaker and SF6 circuit breaker, all those stuff. Right. So in this case, in previous cases, if you remember, the arc is maintained due to ionization of particles in between the contacts. Right. So the arc is maintained due to ionization of the particles which is presented in between the contacts. Let us take air brake or air blast circuit breaker. So this is my fixed contact, this is my moving contact. In between fixed contact and moving contact, we have air particles. Right. So by ionizing these air particles, the free electrons will be moves from one contact to another contact. It might be from fixed contact to moving contact or from moving contact to fixed contact. It is based on the direction of current in the circuit. So this is in case of air brake circuit breaker or air blast circuit breaker. In case of oil circuit breaker also, the particles which are presented in between fixed contact and moving contact is oil, that is mineral oil. So by ionizing this mineral oil, the free electrons will move from fixed contact to moving contact. Right. So in case of circuit breaker also, in case of SF6 circuit breaker also, by ionizing the SF6 gas, the free electrons will be moved from one particle to another particle. Now here comes the idea. For example, if there is no particles or if there is no particles which are presented between contacts, that we call it as vacuum circuit breakers. So the idea behind vacuum circuit breaker is elimination of medium between the contacts. The idea behind vacuum circuit breaker is elimination of medium between the contacts. Elimination in the sense there is no particles which are presented in between contacts. So that we call it as vacuum. Let us see what is vacuum. So the pressure which has below the atmospheric pressure will be called it as vacuum. So for a medium that has pressure below the atmospheric pressure, For atmospheric pressure, for atmosphere, what is the atmospheric pressure? It is 760 mm of Hg. It is 760 mm of Hg. So the medium that has pressure below the atmospheric pressure, we call it as vacuum. We call it as vacuum. Now, so these low pressures are defined by, in case of torr, these low pressures are defined or measured in terms of torr. Torr is nothing but 1 torr equal to 1 mm of Hg. 1 torr equal to 1 mm of Hg. Torr is the name of scientist who invented low pressure measurements. Torr is a scientist who invented low pressure measurements. So because of his name, the low pressures will be defined as torrs, right? 1 torr is nothing but 1 mm of Hg. So in case of vacuum circuit breaker, 10 power minus 4 to 10 power minus 6 torr pressure will be maintained. In case of vacuum circuit breaker, 10 power minus 4 to 10 power minus 6 torr pressure will be maintained, right? So in these pressures, the breakdown voltage will be independent on gas density. With this pressure, the breakdown voltage between contacts will be independent on gas density, but it will only depends on the gap between the contacts. Right? So the breakdown voltage becomes independent of gas density and depends on gap length. Right? It is the gap between fixed contact and moving contact. Now I am repeating what I have discussed till now. So in the earlier circuit breaker, the arc is maintained due to ionization of particles in between the contacts. So the vacuum circuit breaker idea has came that the elimination of medium between contacts. So that is vacuum circuit breaker. So what is the definition of vacuum? The pressures or the medium which are below 760 mm of Hg pressure, the mediums which has pressure below atmospheric pressure, that is 760 mm of Hg, we call it as vacuum, right? So these low pressures are measured in terms of torrs. 1 torr is nothing but 1 mm of Hg, and in case of vacuum circuit breakers, the pressure will be maintained as 10 power minus 4 to 10 power minus 6 torr, and at these pressures the breakdown voltage between the contacts will be independent on gas density but depends on gap between the contacts. Next one, for example, I have taken a case study for the dielectric strength for 9.4 mm diameter tungsten contacts. I have taken one example. So for these tungsten contacts, if the gap between the contact is maintained at 1.25 mm, if the gap between the contacts is 1.25 mm, the kV peak, that means the dielectric strength is 2.5 kilovolts. 2.5 kilovolts. So it is millimeters. For 1.25 millimeters, the dielectric strength of air is 2.5 kV, right? But in case of vacuum, it will be 100 kV. You can compare where is 2.5 kV and where is 100 kV. So it is quite larger compared to air. So this is the advantage of vacuum, which has high dielectric strength compared to air, right? Let us go for increment in gap, right? So for example, for 2.5 millimeters, the dielectric strength of air is 7.5 kilovolts. 7.5 kilovolts. That means here I had multiplied 1.25 into 2 times. That means I had increases the gap in 2 times that of previous one. 2 times that of previous one. Now what happened? The dielectric strength of air is increased. Okay, it is more than 2 times. It is more than 2 times. Let us observe, but in case of vacuum, it is not a multiplying one. It is just 140. It is just 140. Right? It was not multiplied. Let us take another example. So it is at 4.5 millimeters, the dielectric strength of air is 15. Again it is doubled. Again it is double from previous case. But in case of vacuum circuit breaker, in case of vacuum, the dielectric strength is not multiplied. It is just up to 200. So from this analysis, we can conclude that as the gap between the contact is increases, the dielectric strength of air is increasing proportionately, but not in case of vacuum circuit breakers. In case of vacuum circuit breakers, okay, this is because of low pressures in case of vacuum circuit breaker. Okay, now let's see this comparison with a graphical view. So all this terminology I have discussed in previous class. That means air has a breakdown at 30 kV per centimeter. For example, per centimeter, the air is breakdown at 30 kV. For example, if I have increased the gap between the contacts, the dielectric strength of air is also increases. Previously we have seen. So it is increasing in a linear fashion. It is increasing in a linear fashion. In case of oil also, as the gap between the contact is increasing, it is proportionately increasing. In case of SF6 also, it is proportionately increasing, having different slopes compared to each one. Air circuit breaker has one slope, and oil circuit breaker has one slope, and SF6 circuit breaker has another slope. But with the increment in gap, it will increases proportionately. With the increment in gap, the dielectric strength is increases proportionately. Now observe in case of vacuum. In case of vacuum, up to 150 kilovolts, it is linearly increased. The dielectric strength is linearly increased. But after 150 kV, the dielectric strength increment is not linear. That is not proportionate. That means from this graph, it also shows that whenever the gap between the contact is increases, the dielectric strength of vacuum will not proportionately increases. Right? It will be settled up to one point. This is because of less vaporization in case of vacuum circuit breaker. In next slides, you can observe what is vaporization and how it is depends on this inclination, right? So let us see the construction of vacuum circuit breaker. For every circuit breaker we need to have fixed contact, and moving contact. So these fixed contact and moving contacts are placed inside a metal chamber. In case of vacuum circuit breaker, it will be placed inside a vacuum chamber, right? So it is similar like in case of air, these contacts will be placed inside a air chamber. In case of oil, these contacts are placed inside a oil chamber. In case of SF6 circuit breaker, these contacts are placed inside a SF6 gas chamber. As well as in case of vacuum circuit breaker also, these contacts are placed inside a vacuum chamber, right? So we need to provide vacuum, right? So for example, if there any leakage, the vacuum will not maintain. So the proper enveloping is required. So that is shielding, also called as shielding. This is end shield. To support this end shield, we have a shield supporters, and also it is outer insulating envelope, which protects this inside shield, and the next one is we have used one special construction here, that is vapor condensation shield. So this shield will condense the vacuum. This shield will condense the vapor, right? So, and one more applications, we need to operate this moving contact, right? During turn off process, we need to pull down this moving contact, and during turn on condition, we need to move up, right? So during turn off process, we need to pull down this moving contact, and during turn on conditions, we need to pull up this moving contact. So while this movement, there is a chance of entering of air into this chamber because it is vacuum. So inside this is vacuum. So there is a chance of leakage of this vacuum also. So to protect that, we need to have a special equipment that is called it as bellows. Bellows will be expand according to our application, whatever it may be the movement is. According to our movement, the bellows will be operates, right? So to provide a shielding for bellows, we will use bellows shield. Now whenever the moving contact is moving from live circuit in the sense previously it is working well, that is current is flowing and voltage is also presented. Now whenever the moving contact is try to open circuit the network, there is a formation of arc. So this is the arc. So these are the construction materials, these are the construction parts of a vacuum circuit breaker. Now let us move on to, so this is the practical vacuum circuit breaker, right? So in this vacuum circuit breaker, what you have observed previously, we have seen many parts, right? So the first one is contacts. So this is stationary contact, that means fixed contact, and this will be movable contact, that means moving contact, right? So inside we need to have a vacuum chamber. So this is vacuum chamber. Obviously, and the next one is bellows. These are the bellows, flexible metallic bellows, which are used for movements, free movements, right? And the next one is, so to protect all these equipments, we need to have a outer insulating medium. Outer insulating medium, that is made up of porcelain, and this is metal to insulation vacuum seal. That means to fix a fixed contact, we need to have metal, and in bottom side also it will be enclosed with a metal shielding. And this vapor condensation shield is protected by porcelain or glass shielding. So to connect these two, we need to have a metal to insulation vacuum seal. So these are the parts of vacuum circuit breaker. Right. Now let us move on to each one in detail. So the first one is the outer envelope. We have seen we can use porcelain or we can use glass for this outer envelope. In recent days, it will be come up with a glass envelope only. Why? Because for example, if we are not maintaining any vacuum inside the chamber, what happens? There will be a white vapor, that means fog. There will be a fog inside the chamber. So to see that fog, if it is glass chamber, we can observe with our eye only, without having any other measurement equipment. So that's why in recent days we are using glass envelope as a outer envelope. Glass is used for outer envelope. Whenever if the glasses becomes milky, that means becomes white because of fog inside the vacuum. So the original finish, which is silvery mirror, then it indicates the breaker is losing vacuum. So in this way we can identify the vacuum leakage. Right. So the next one is fixed and moving contacts. So these fixed and moving contacts are placed inside a vacuum chamber. And these contacts has to be manufactured with some good materials. In next slides I will discuss what are the materials we are used for this fixed and moving contacts. What aspects are depends on this construction. I will discuss in next slides. Right. So and the next one is the pressure inside a vacuum chamber has to be maintained up to 10 power minus 6 torr. While giving introduction, in case of vacuum circuit breaker, what I have mentioned, the pressure will be maintained up to 10 power minus 4 to 10 power minus 8. Right. So from that, the vacuum inside a vacuum chamber will be maintained up to 10 power minus 6 torrs. Now the moving contacts has a provision of moving for 5 to 10 mm gap only. This gap will be depends on operating voltage. For example, for smaller operating voltages, the gap is near to 5 mm. If you want to using up to larger voltages, this vacuum circuit breaker will be used for 33 kV. For example, if you want to use it for full voltage, that is 33 kV, this will be 10 mm. 10 mm. So we need to provide 5 to 10 mm gap between the contacts. It is depending on operating voltage. And the next one is metallic bellows. Already I have said, metallic bellows are very important parts in case of vacuum circuit breaker. It will give a provision of movement of moving contact. Okay, so these are made up of stainless steel. These are made up of stainless steel. So the design of metallic bellows is very important because the life of vacuum circuit breaker depends on ability of component to perform repeated operations satisfactorily. Right. So the moving contact has to be move freely without giving a provision to enter air into the vacuum chamber. That means leakage, air leakage into the chamber. So that's why the design of metallic bellows will plays a vital role in case of vacuum circuit breaker, which will decides the life of vacuum circuit breaker. Right. So this is the construction of vacuum circuit breaker. Let us move to the next case, that is operating principle. In operating principle, formation of arc is main thing. For example, whenever the moving contact is moving away from the fixed contact, there is a arc between the contacts. So in case of air brake, air blast, oil circuit breaker and SF6 circuit breaker, how the arc is produced? By ionizing the gap between the contacts. That means if it is fixed contact and if it is moving contact, by ionizing the gap between the contacts, the electrons will be moves. So this is the current, that means arc formation in case of air brake and air blast or oil and vacuum circuit SF6 circuit breakers. The ionization of the particle between fixed contact and moving contact will create the arc. But in case of vacuum circuit breaker, there is no provision of particles in between fixed contact and moving contact. Then how the arc will form? In case of vacuum circuit breaker? Right. Let us discuss. In case of vacuum circuit breaker, previously I have mentioned. So the one is the fixed contact I referred as a anode and moving contact I referred as a cathode. So that's why for simplicity sake I refer like cathode. So moving contact as a cathode. So the cathode surface of, that means moving contact, the moving contact surface is not a planed one. If you see with microscopic projections, in a microscopic level it has some projections. It is not a purely plane contact. Now what happened with these projections? During separation of contacts, current will concentrated on these microscopic micro projections only, because these are the last point of contact. So by vaporizing these contacts because of resistive heating, by vaporizing these micro projections because of resistive heating, there will be a creation of vaporization between contacts. Because of this vaporization, the arc will form. That means the free electrons will be moved from fixed contact to moving contact. That means anode to cathode, right? So in this way the arc is formed in case of vacuum circuit breaker. The amount of ionized metal vapor, that means the amount of vaporization is depends on the current which is passing between contacts, right? So at current zero, these cathode spots will be extinguished within 10 power minus 8 seconds. Within fraction of seconds it will be extinguished. Now I am repeating the formation of arc. So in case of air brake, air blast, oil and SF6 circuit breakers, the arc is formed because of ionization of particles between contacts. But in case of vacuum, there is no particles between fixed contact and moving contact. Then how the arc will be formed? It is like the cathode surface, that is moving contact surface of a vacuum circuit breaker will not smooth. It has a micro projections. If you have see with microscope. So because of these microscopic projections, whenever during separation of contacts, the current will be concentrated at these microscopic projections only. So for example, I am considering one example. So this is my fixed contact. This is my fixed contact and this is my moving contact. For simplicity sake, I have taken cylindrical ones. So fixed contact are anode, this moving contact are cathode. Right. So these contacts are of not planed one. So it has some microscopic projections. So whenever the moving contact is try to move away from the fixed contact, the last point of current is these microscopic projections only na. So the current will be concentrated on these microscopic projections. Because of heating of this metal, there will be a metal vaporization. Because of heating of this metal, there will be a metal vaporization takes place. So this metal vapor will create a path to travel free electrons. This metal vapor will create a arc in the sense free electrons movement, right? So it is because of resistive heating. The amount of ionization will be depends on the magnitude of fault current. For example, if the fault current is increases, the amount of metal vaporization will be increases because of resistive heating. Resistive heating in the sense it is I square R. In terms of energy it is I square RT. Right. So as the fault current increases, the I will becomes increases. Now because of increase in fault current, and heating also increases, the microscopic in case of microscopic projections, the amount of vaporization will becomes high, and the amount of arc will also increases, right. Now at the time of current zero, the cathode spots extinguish. The cathode spots, what we have seen, the cathode spots are extinguished in 10 power minus 8 seconds itself. The cathode spots are extinguished in 10 power minus 8 seconds itself. Then there will be no vaporization between contacts. That means the dielectric strength will be regained. The dielectric strength of vapor will be regained. So let us observe, within a fraction of seconds, the dielectric strength of a vacuum is regained. That's why the vacuum circuit breaker will be used for high switching operations. Now let us come to vacuum arc stability. What it means is, we are giving AC current, right? In case of circuit breaker, the current is AC. Now at the time of current zero only, the vaporization that is taken place at microscopic projections will be extinguished, so the arc will also be extinguished. Now this will avoid the current chopping. Now the arc has to maintain stably up to this current zero position. For example, at this place, that means at current maximum position, if there is no stability in case of arc, what happens? That means the microscopic projections will not heated up. Now after some time, still the current is more only. Now what happens? If arc is not stable, it will be a restriking. For this case, the arc must be stable up to this current zero. Now that's what I have discussed here. In case of 50 Hz AC, current passes through zero in 100 times for a second. So it is desirable to interrupt the arc at natural current zero. To avoid current chopping. So it is necessary that arc should be stable up to natural current zero. But this stability of arc will be depends on the contact material and its vapor pressure. The stability of arc will be depends on contact material and vapor pressure. And the next one is, it also depends on the circuit parameters such as voltage, current, inductance and capacitance of electrical network, right. So the stability of arc is depends on the contact material and vapor pressure and also depends on circuit parameters, that is voltage, current, inductance and capacitance, right. So the higher the vapor pressure, let us take an example. If the higher the vapor pressure, better will be the arc stability. That means whenever the vapor pressure increases, the stability of arc will be maintained. Now, for example, in case of good heat conductivity material, for example, we are using contact material as a good heating conducting material. Good heat conducting material, what it says? Good heat conductivity means the heat that is presented at one point will be transferred to another point within very less time. So the point where the heat occurs, from this the point where the heat occurs will be cooled up very quickly. For example, if you are using a good heat conducting material, so the heat which is generated at one point will be transferred up till another point with a faster rate. So this will leads to cooling of material within less time. For example, if the material is cooled within less time, what happens? There is no provision of arc stability. So in this case, so that's why we need to have a low heat conductivity material and also higher vapor pressure. So these two will be the constraints for manufacturing contacting materials, right. So that is the material which are used for contacts, it will be a high vapor pressure and have low conductivity of heat to avoid current chopping before current zero, natural zero, right. So these properties will be maintained by using these composite materials. The composite materials are of copper bismuth, silver bismuth, silver lead and copper lead. By using these four combinations, that means composite materials, we will get these two properties, which is high vapor pressure as well as low conductivity of heat, right. So at natural current zero, the cathode spot extinguishes within 10 power minus 8 seconds and original dielectric strength will be regained, as we have discussed earlier. Now this quick build up will causes for this quick build up of dielectric strength is due to condensing, quick diffusion of metal vapor between the contacts. So let us observe the recovery rate of this vapor. The recovery rate of vapor is 1 kV per microsecond for a 100 amperes. In case of vacuum, but in case of air gap, it is only 50 volts per microsecond. So compare these two. In case of vacuum, it is for 100 amperes, it is 1 kV per microsecond. 1 kV per microsecond. That means 1 kV of dielectric strength is regained within 1 microsecond. But in case of air gap, it is 50 volts. 50 volts will be the regaining arc stability. That means dielectric strength. Within 1 microsecond, only 50 volts dielectric strength will be regained in case of air gap. So, this is how the arc is maintaining stably in case of vacuum circuit breaker. So, we have observed construction of vacuum circuit breaker, working, in case of working, how the arc is forming, and this arc, how the arc is maintained stably. The arc is maintained stably, we have observed. So, this is the operation of vacuum circuit breaker. Let us observe the advantages of vacuum circuit breaker. Advantages of vacuum circuit breaker. So, the vacuum circuit breaker does not require any materials to be filled. In case of air, we need to have a pressurized air chamber to fill in between the contacts, or in case of oil has to be filled, or in case of SF6 gas has to be filled, and this will be refilling frequently. This will be refilling frequently, but in case of vacuum, it is not necessary. There is no material in between contacts such that we need not refill this chamber. And the next one is, because of this rapid recovery, we have seen in 10 power minus 8 seconds, the dielectric strength of vacuum will be regained. So, because of this rapid recovery of dielectric strength, the current interruption takes place within half cycle or less than half cycle after contact separation. After contact separation, that means because of this rapid recovery of dielectric strength, within very less time, arc is quenched after contact separation. And the next advantage in case of vacuum circuit breaker is, the breaker unit is self-contained. Breaker unit is self-contained and also compact in size. Because of these two properties, it can be installed any required orientation. Any required orientation. For example, in case of oil circuit breaker, we have to place this circuit breaker in a horizontal way only. In a vertical way only. But that means it is with respect to ground only. Right. So, we can't mount oil circuit breaker to a wall because the oil has gravity, right? So, whenever we are placing with respect to ground only, it will be properly work. But in case of vacuum circuit breaker, there are no constraints like that. So, it will be installed in any required orientation. Right. And the last advantage is, because of all above reasons, it is economic advantage which has high acceptance, right. So, these are the advantages of vacuum circuit breaker. Let us move on to disadvantages of vacuum circuit breaker. Maintaining of vacuum quite a difficult thing. We need to have other equipment to maintain vacuum inside the vacuum chamber. So, that is the main disadvantage in case of vacuum circuit breaker. That is we need to have a high technology for production of vacuum interrupters. So that is the main advantage in case of vacuum circuit breakers. Now, and the next one is, we have seen the vaporization takes place depends on current. In case of low currents, there is no sufficient of vaporization. In case of low current, there is no sufficient amount of vaporization. This will leads to maloperation of circuit breakers. In case of low currents, we need to have a additional surge suppressors for low magnetizing currents. This is also one of the disadvantage of vacuum circuit breaker. And the last disadvantage is, we need to have a maintain vacuum pressure inside the chamber. It is little difficult. So the loss of vacuum will leads to damage of entire equipment. For example, there is a crack in a construction, outside the vessel. So there will be entering of air in between into the contact. So that's why these are the disadvantages of vacuum circuit breaker. And the last one is comparison of all circuit breakers which I have discussed till now. That means air brake circuit breaker and minimum oil circuit breaker, air blast circuit breaker, vacuum circuit breaker and SF6 circuit breaker. These are discussed till now. So let us compare each one. First is, at what voltage ranges it will operates. For air brake circuit breaker, it will operate only for 1 kV, less than 1 kV. That is low voltage. But minimum oil circuit breaker is for medium voltages. That means 1 kV to 33 kV. And the next one is air blast circuit breaker. That is 1 kV to 400 kV, which is low voltage, medium voltage and high voltages. And vacuum circuit breakers will be used for up to 33 kV. That is medium voltage range only. And in case of SF6 circuit breaker, there is a provision of using at any voltage we can use SF6 circuit breaker. So this is based on voltage range. And the second is maintenance. In case of air brake circuit breaker, so in case of, let us compare with maintenance. So air brake circuit breaker has less maintenance, but minimum oil circuit breaker has to maintain properly. That means while studying minimum oil circuit breaker, we have seen there is a formation of carbon particles on contact surfaces. That's why we need to maintain regularly in case of minimum oil circuit breaker. And in case of air blast circuit breaker also, the maintenance is not required, and as well vacuum circuit breaker and SF6 circuit breakers also. In case of SF6 vacuum circuit breaker, there is no need of maintenance, right? But in case of SF6 circuit breaker, we need to refill the gas. For up to 5 years we need not to replace, but after 5 years we need to replace the gas. And the next one is the life of circuit breakers, the contact life of circuit breakers. For 6 short circuits, in case of air brake circuit breaker, the contacts has to be replaced. But in case of minimum oil, it is also 6 short circuit. But in case of air blast, it is up to 25 short circuit. And in case of vacuum, it is up to 100 short circuits. And also in case of SF6 circuit breakers, it is 25 short circuit. That means the contacts will be replaced for these short circuits. And the next one is the possibility of explosion. The possibility of explosion. In case of air brake circuit breaker, it is less. The only possibility here is minimum oil circuit breaker. In case of this air blast and vacuum and SF6 also, the possibility is very less. And capacitor switching applications. The air brake circuit breaker is not at all suitable, because in case of capacitive applications, the current interruption is very high. Within no time the current will be reaches maximum. It will not be suitable. In case of oil also it will not be suitable. But as the air blast circuit breaker and vacuum circuit breaker has better dielectric medium and faster dielectric regain, this will gives good operation for capacitive switching. And the next one is inductive switching. In case of inductive switching also, minimum oil only provide proper switching. And the last one is repeated operations. For repeated operations, except minimum oil circuit breaker, every circuit breaker will be operated frequently. Right, so this is the overall comparison of each circuit breaker. And the last one is applications of circuit breakers. Based on the applications, which circuit breaker has to be selected. The first one is for arc furnace, that is, it is operated for 11 kV or 33 kV. That means 2 operations per day. It requires 2 operations per day, either switching on, switching off. So for this case, either air blast circuit breaker or vacuum circuit breaker can be used. In case of single phase 25 kV traction systems, air blast circuit breaker used in olden days, but in recent days vacuum circuit breaker are using. And in case of capacitive switching, we have seen previously. For capacitive switching, the air blast circuit breaker and vacuum circuit breaker and SF6 circuit breaker will be suitable. That means it should be, the circuit breaker has to be reed strike free. The circuit breaker has to be reed strike free for capacitive switching. Right. So this is because this is only in case of air blast circuit breaker up to, it is used up to 33 kV to 145 kV in olden days. But it will be replaced by vacuum circuit breaker. Up to vacuum circuit breaker, up to 33 kV vacuum circuit breakers are used. 33 kV to 145 kV SF6 circuit breakers are used in recent days for capacitive switching. And the last one is for extra high voltage substations, SF6 is used for 132 kV to 765 kV. So these are all about circuit breakers. These are all about circuit breakers. So till now what we have seen, these circuit breakers are used from 1 kV. From 1 kV to 765 kV. For less than 1 kV, we will use the updated circuit breaker, that is miniature circuit breaker or MCCBs, MPCBs, ELCBs, which will be discussed in later sessions. Thank you.